What is going on, guys? Jack here, and today we are back for episode 63 of the Rise to Glory. And today, Gibraltar Apex, we're going to be taking on Olympiacos. Now, before we get into today's game, I've got to say, the last 2 weeks of this save have probably been the worst 2 weeks of this save so far. You're probably wondering, Jack, what do you mean? Now, on this save, I'm yet to really have an injury crisis. Let me tell you now, we've got a crisis. Here's our team. This is the team that played the last game and won it. Our entire defence is out. 2 suspensions, 2 injuries. Gary's got injured for 5 months. I mean, it's all gone wrong. Marriott's out for 2 to 3 months. Medina's out for 5 to 6 weeks. We've got Lees who's out for a match. Evans is out for a match. I mean, we've got problems. We have got, and I mean, because of the registration rules, we don't have a massive squad registered for this competition. I mean, if we just do a quick pick, I mean, look at it. Look at it. We're in trouble. We are in trouble. Part of me wants to play McVitie at right back because he can play right wing back, and part of me thinks he might be able to wing it at right back. I think I might do that, actually. He's not the best defensively, but I think he's better than playing Glenn Gilbert out of position. So we're going to do that. I mean, looking at the rest of our side, we've got problems. I mean, that's all I can really say. Looking at match fitness, looking at condition, Lourenco, he's not fit enough to play right wing for us today. We are taking on, of course, Olympiacos. I'm going to be playing the counter system. But yeah, I mean, it's a situation we've got ourselves here, and it's going to be tricky. Our defence, I mean, Barr's going to be in goal. Molesworth, if we got on loan from Newcastle, thankfully, is going to play left back for us. A good left back to have, to be honest. At centre back, we're going to have to go with Melvin Thomas, the Canadian, alongside him. Barry O'Connor, the Irish player who we actually picked up a few years ago now. Hasn't really played that much since he joined us. I think we signed him during episode 50. He's a good player to have, and he's available for today's game, and it's a good job he's available, and he's going to slot in there. We're going to have McVitie at right back. Midfield, we've got Smith, Benyu, and Bouchard. Paul Smith coming back from a long injury. He's been out for a while. I mean, part of me thinks stick him on the right and then stick the other Smith that we've got on the left and just kind of hope that we can bring on Lourenco if we really start struggling. I mean, there's going to be players playing out of position, but then the issue is playing 2 players out of position on the right-hand side. That's going to leave us so exposed. I mean, up front, it's relatively simple. Jackson and Stewart hold down their positions. The midfield, Benyu and Bouchard in midfield. Nothing too crazy there. But everywhere else except in goal, I guess, you're talking both winger positions and the entirety of the defence. I mean, it's just going to be a bit of a shambles for this first game. We're going to have to see how we get on. Taking on Olympiacos at home, of course, here for a chance in the Champions League group stage. The winner of this game obviously gets that. The loser will go to the Europa League group stage. I mean, there's not a lot more I can do with this team here. I guess it's just a case of submitting it and getting into today's game. So let's submit it. Boom. Lots of players not ready. Squad numbers do need to be applied. We will do them. And yeah, I mean, let's get into today's game. Olympiacos, the better side, the favourites. I mean, we're not completely out of this match in terms of the odds. But we are underdogs. We're probably going to need to hit them on the break as best we can. And with the injuries we've got, well, we're going to need some big performers from unlikely heroes, particularly in our defence. Worth noting, Diego Costa is registered in our squad for today's game, so he's an option who we do have. Set piece early on, going to hit the crossbar. I mean, that is a warning. Olympiacos early on with an opportunity here. Bouchard up to Jackson. Can we hit on the break? It's worth noting, Olympiacos playing a 4-2-1-2-1. They're playing with 2 defensive midfielders. We're on the attack, though. Stewart, can you whip in a ball? He can't. Selfish shot in the end. Hits the side netting. At least we created an opportunity, I guess. But no, it's going to be tricky to counter, really, Olympiacos with the team that they're playing and the way that they're playing with 2 defensive mids. It's not going to leave them super exposed. Looking at it, our midfield's been outnumbered. Looking at the stats, I mean, we're not being completely outclassed here. I mean, part of me thinks play the 4-4-2 attack. Just change it. I mean, we're being told by Ramage, our assistant manager who's a genius, play McVitie in a more familiar position. Unfortunately, not got that liberty. Well, we've just not got that as an opportunity. But we are actually on the attack here. Big ball to Jackson. Go on, Jackson. Bury that. Saved away by Fella. That's an opportunity. I talked about last episode. Clear-cut chances that we're having. We're going to have to take them in the bigger games. We've not taken one there. He was clean through on goal, Jackson. Had a chance to get what I believe would have been his 9th goal in the competition, and it was cleared. Might still have a chance here. Ball back post, headed away. Bobbling around in the area. I mean, we're having a lot of the ball here. We're having some chances as well from the set piece. Can we make something happen here? Bouchard whips it in. Poyet with the save and with the clearance away, the defender. That's going to be all she wrote for that highlight. I mean, if we can keep a clean sheet, that would be good. Not to concede an away goal would be very useful. Olympiacos are a very good team, and well, in a week's time we would have some of our defenders back from suspension, which would be good. I mean, given the fact that we are playing against what is hard to disagree is a much stronger team, so far we've been doing a pretty good job here, although Olympiacos are bringing forward the ball. Espinosa, edge of the box, long-range shot, speculative effort, goes wide. Half-time, going to be 0-0. I mean, that's not bad. That is not bad. I'm going to tell the boys they've been unlucky so far. A few of them love it. Let's try and get the rest on board with our plan in the second half. As much as part of me wants to go on attacking for this next half, the other half of me, kind of the voice of reason, I guess you could say, is saying, Jack, you know, stick with what we're doing. If we can get 0-0, fantastic. If we go a goal down, then maybe we weigh up going more attacking. But with the current defensive situation, if we can at least try and hold on to a clean sheet, that's got to be something. And, well, we're going to have to try and cling on to it here because Olympiacos bring the ball forward. Calais, Espinosa, edge of the box. Nice save by Bar in goal. Hamid Bar, the Moroccan, fantastic save by him. And with 60 minutes gone, it's still 0-0. And with 60 minutes gone, I think it's time. It's time to spring our plan into action. Paul Smith is going to go out on the left. Lourenco is going to go into right mid. This is the point now where I bring on a few familiar legs. Barry O'Connor at centre-back is struggling a lot. I'm going to bring on Aaron Holmes for him. That 59% match condition, not looking great for us, but half an hour left in this game. Part of me really wants to go for the 4-4-2 attack. Now we've got Lourenco on. I'm going to go for it. We're going to gamble. We're going to see what we can do here. Mick Vitti, you know, he'll get a bit more permission to go forward, which is something that he's quite capable of doing. Of course, worth noting, he's a right midfielder who we're playing at right back. So his strength probably lies in his game with going forward, but we're going to go for it. It's a brave move. We've got a chance here. Lourenco whips it in. Options in the middle. Cleared away. Now they could break. They could break, although McVitie there on the cover. Benyu to Smith. Options on ahead. Jackson almost latching onto it, but now Vezo with the ball clears it up. Molesworth, just don't get sent off, my son. Ball could be whipped in here by Olympiacos. It is Hamid Bar. What a save by Hamid in goal. Insane stuff there. A yard out, point blank. Just makes himself big in the 6-yard box. Prevents that from finding the back of the net. Olympiacos with the first clear-cut chance of the game officially. Both teams will feel they've had half chances in this game. Looking at it here, I mean, 0-0, we take it, but there's still time in this game for a goal for either team. Bouchard, big ball up to Stewart. Going to be options in the middle. Jackson's on there on his own. Out to Lourenco. Whips it in. Smith back post. Hits the post. And cleared away by O'Neill. An opportunity for us there at the other end. Paul Smith coming back from injury. Been a big player for us over the last few years. Had a big chance there. Unfortunately not taken. And there's a free kick in the last minute. Let's just clear it. Let's just hold the 0-0 now. I will take that going into the next leg, considering the kind of shambles that is our team. Looking at that match, we were not outclassed. We really gave it our all there. Amazing performance there. Hopefully we can move into the second leg and just have more of the same. That's got to be what we're hoping for. Sean Jackson, of course, top goal scorer in the competition with 9. How he'd crave a spot in the group stage of this competition for a second year in a row. But anyway, with that result, we've given ourselves a really good fighting chance of making it into the second kind of group stage in a row. Hopefully we can do it. Guys, I will be back. Olympiacos, 8 days' time. Hopefully we'll have some players back to full fitness. Hopefully. Okay, guys, so we're back here for the second leg against Olympiacos. 0-0 in the first leg. Not a bad situation to be in. Considering the squad situation we had, I'm kind of pleased with that. Going into today's game, looking at the squad, lots of players back, which is good news. Tom Lees is back from suspension. He got suspended during the last live com. Last episode, he got sent off, of course, I believe in the first leg. I want to say it might have been the second leg, actually. Either way, back today, as is Danny Evans, the right back. So 2 big players back for us in the defence. Alongside them, we're going to have, of course, Melvin Thomas, the man, the myth, the legend, the Canadian centre-back. Done a great job for us, really. Filled in quite a lot for us, and, well, he comes back into the side today. He's impressed me. I'm hoping for another good performance from him today. We then have Robert Molesworth playing left back for us. Not a position he is supernatural in playing. He's kind of unconvincing there at the moment. The Englishman, of course, on loan from Newcastle. The reason he is in the side, of course, is because Jay Marriott, our first choice left back, is out for almost 2 to 3 months with a fullback injury, which is a really big miss for him. I'm a little bit gutted that he's not on the side, but Molesworth is a decent backup to have, and I'm glad that we have him in the side. Anyway, in goal we of course have Hamid Bar. I kind of realised with Hamid Bar just a few minutes ago, I've really missed the opportunity to come up with some sheep-related puns and nicknames for this guy. I think I've missed the boat now. I think the moment's passed, but he holds his position in goal. Made some massive saves for us in that first leg, of course. In the midfield, we go with Paul Smith at left mid. Right mid, Gimo Lorenko the second, of course. In the centre of midfield, Benyu and Bouchard. I think we're going to start today. Part of me almost doesn't want to start Bouchard, just because he has got this gashed arm and it has impacted his overall condition going into today's game. So like, there's part of me that kind of thinks, oh, maybe I shouldn't play him. Unfortunately, the player who I'd normally bring in for him, Gary, is out, obviously, with a torn calf for 4 to 5 months. I don't know if I talked about this injury. I think it actually happened during the last kind of break when I said about the really bad 2 weeks. And I did talk about it. What am I talking about? I literally recorded this 20 minutes before this part, but completely forgotten what I've talked about. But yeah, Gary's not in the side. It's a sad, sad situation there. As a result, Nicholas Mohammed is on the bench for us. He's a good playmaker. I just don't know if he's good enough to hold down a first-team position. I think for today's game, I'm actually going to start him alongside Benyu, and that's going to make up our midfield four. We've got Bouchard on the bench. We can bring him on if we need to, and then up front for today's game, we are going to stick with the duo that is Jackson and, of course, Mark Stewart, the American and Scotsman. Two very good strikers, two good finishers, really. They've got good goals for us so far this year. I'm hoping for some more important ones today. So anyway, that's the team. On the bench, strong bench. We've got McVitie, we've got Bouchard, we've got Diego Costa, Aaron Holmes, Barry O'Connor, Romero. It's a good team to have on the bench, and we can definitely make changes to the team as we go through and certainly change the course of the game, I think, with the changes that we make. In terms of system, I think we're going to stick with the 4-4-2 for now. I'm not super happy about it, if I'm honest. Obviously, we got 0-0 using it before, but I do feel like this 4-2-1-2-1 kind of shape that Olympiacos use has kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's held us back just a little bit and maybe caused us some problems. Either way, though, we're going to go into this game. I'm going to try and encourage the players as best as I can. It's going to be a hard game for us in Greece here away from home, but 0-0 after the first leg. We're in a nice situation. If we get the first goal in this game, it's the away goal as well, don't forget. Suddenly Olympiacos need 2. That said, I mean, we might not score at all. Olympiacos showed they can defend last time out, and well, we did have our best attack on for that game. So, I mean, anything can happen here. We'll see how we get on. I think it's important in the early stages of this game that we just kind of hold Olympiacos back. We defend well. Of course, if it finishes 0-0, we go to extra time, which I really don't want, if I'm honest. Either way, looking at the stats here, Olympiacos definitely edging possession. They've not had a ton of shots for all the chances that they've had. We've had no replays either, 25 minutes in. I say that, Olympiacos now bringing the ball forward. Calais lands it inside, but Jackson collects. Lays it off to Smith. Options on ahead. He could put a big ball over the top if he wants to. Smith, just don't give away the ball there. Molesworth to Nicholas Mohammed. Big ball up to Stewart. Jackson's through. Jackson, you've got to bury it. He does bury it. It's a composed finish by the American. His 10th goal of the season. A really nice goal. Slots it home. His 10th in the Champions League so far this year. He has scored some massive goals for us in this competition. Granted, you know, the games against HNS and against the Polish side, they were easier games. So right here, Stewart, delightful back heel through ball. Jackson slots it home. Couldn't get it any nearer the post without it hitting the post or going wide. And, well, we've hit them on the break well there. Looking at it here, half an hour gone. Still only 1-0. It's a good situation to be in, and Olympiacos aren't having a load of shots, but if we could get that one more goal, suddenly there is a mammoth task for Olympiacos of scoring 3 goals in a second half. That said, it looks like it could be 1-0 here at the halfway mark. A few minutes left, nothing going to happen in them. So far, so good. 1-0. More of the same, please. Olympiacos have been very limited in their opportunities. It's been another good defensive display, as I guess was the first leg, really, where we drew 0-0. That said, you know, it's not over yet. The task is not over. The mission is not complete. And I do expect Olympiacos to maybe turn the screw on us, really apply some pressure as this game goes on. Although, we have a chance here. Jackson, big ball over the top. He shoots, and it's Feller with a save, tipping it wide. And that was a really good opportunity for a goal. Jackson almost doubling his tally for the game. Might get another chance here. Stewart offside, however. That would have been I would have put my mortgage on him to score that as well. We'll never know if he would have finished it. It was offside regardless. But that was a chance there for Stewart. We have got a few players booked, which is concerning, but actually, at the moment, we're on the attack again here. Jackson bringing the ball forward, lays it off to Mohamed, to Lourenco. Can he cut inside? He can. Stewart shoots and scores. It's 2-0. Suddenly, Olympiacos need a miracle. They need magical things to happen. I'm going to make a double change here. I'm going to make sure that we don't get a sending off. We've already experienced one of them in the qualifying stages of the Champions League, of course, last episode. I don't want that to happen again. So we're going to take off Nicholas Mohamed. We're going to take off Woolsworth. And yeah, we're gonna basically get them off. No risk. I don't want them. I've just realised I've called Molesworth Woolworths there. That's an old shopping chain in England. I don't know where I got that from. Either way, maybe I should nickname him Woolworths now. Let's not concentrate on that, Jack. Let's concentrate on the fact that we need to win this game to get to the Champions League group stage. Great defending here. Olympiacos, they're going to have to start committing men forward. It's going to leave them exposed at the back. Jackson, tackle there, but bringing the ball forward. We still have it. Bouchard, big ball over the top. Stewart's there. This is for free. It is free. It's a dominant display. Mark Stewart gets his third goal of the season. Olympiacos are crashing out to us, and this is going to be a historic away win. We have played on the counter. We've not had a load of clear-cut chances. Neither have Olympiacos, though. And we've hit them on the break time and again in this game. 2 goals now in this second half. And Olympiacos, suddenly, they need 4 to stand any chance in this game. They're going to be throwing men forward. We have 1 sub left to make. I don't know if I want to make it. I might just hold on to it in case of injury or kind of a sending off in case we do have to make a tactical change. I mean, we shouldn't be conceding now 4 in the last 20 minutes, but stranger things have happened. I don't want to get carried away yet. And Zapata with an effort. Saymak, what a save that is by Hamid Bar. That is incredible goalkeeping by the Moroccan. I think that was a double save there. Olympiacos with their first clear-cut chance, but Hamid Bar, between the sticks, makes a fantastic save. Questions were asked of him, and he's stood up to them. Tisserand, though, bring the ball forward. Whipped into Pata, hits the crossbar. We'll get it clear. Now a set piece. Olympiacos, they're turning the screw in this game. It's 3-1 all of a sudden. They still need 3 more goals here in this second half, and in the remaining 10 minutes to stand any chance. Pizzi with the cross. Bozovic with the goal, and maybe this isn't game over. I don't want to get kind of too nervous yet. I feel like we don't need to make any changes to our system. We don't need to panic and start parking the bus. We just need to see out the rest of this game. I'm going to take off Lourenco, who's struggling for fitness on 61% condition. Looks like there is going to be a chance here. Olympiacos bringing forward the ball. Headed away, but only as far as Diego Poyet. Suddenly, I'm nervous. I am nervous. Bar, though, nice save there. Olympiacos with a free header in the box. Wasn't kind of hit towards any corner. Bar just had to stand there and catch it. And, well, he's passed his catching practice right there. And I think now we can sit, we can relax. I think we're going through. It's going to finish here. Well, it looks like it's going to finish 3-1. There might be a chance for another here. Jackson almost through on goal. I mean, it's going to take a miracle now for Olympiacos. I don't know what the stage up for a miracle is, like what the next step is. But they need whatever that is, because there is 2 minutes left in this game. They need 3 goals. It's just not going to happen. Paul Smith cutting inside to Stewart. Back to Benyu. I mean, we can just hold on to the ball now. This is us going through to a second Champions League group stage in a row. What an incredible performance this match has been. Might even be time for another. I don't want to concede again, though, whatever we do. I say that. They're now on the attack. Pizzi to Simak. Crosses it. Zapata scores. I mean, is it squeaky bum time now at 3-2? Probably not. I don't want to say it. I mean, there's 80 seconds left and they need 2. Benyu to Smith. Can we just score now to put them out of their misery, to just destroy all the hopes and dreams? Stewart. Options on ahead. Anyone? Smith. Inside to Jackson. Can't find the pass. It's got to be. It's over. I refuse to believe they can get back into this game now with 30 seconds left. It's just not happening. It's not happening. It's not. Even if they score now, it's still not happening. It's a goal kick to us. We're going through to the group stage of the Champions League. What an achievement that is. A great performance here. Perhaps a little bit disappointing to concede 2, having gone 3 goals up. But nevertheless, the job was done at that point. Sean Jackson, 10 goals in the competition. I mean, you can't argue with that, can you? We win in the Champions League Champions Playoff for a second year in a row. I don't know if that was a bigger or lesser achievement than the result against Zagreb. Looking at it here, we receive in the region of £10 million as well for reaching the group stage, which is great stuff. That takes our bank balance up to £18 million. We are starting to get a little bit of money snowballed up, which is really good news. Anyway, we've got the Champions League group stage draw now. It is on transfer deadline day as well. I don't know if we're going to be doing that much in the market. I might see if we can eke out a little bit of extra money from the board as a result of all that prize money that we've just got for reaching the group stage. But I think the main thing here really is that we've got to the group stage again, and in consistently getting to the group stage, it's going to help the league rep, it's going to help our rep, it's going to help our club coefficient to hopefully get easier draws in the competition. And yeah, it's good just now to hopefully build upon this and become a consistent component of the Champions League. Cannot argue with that one little bit. Anyway, we'll continue forward. We've got the group draw left to do. We will do that this episode. Then I will join you guys next episode for the Champions League group stage. Whoever we're going to be playing. I mean, that is the mystery. Let's have a look. Viewing the draw. Where are we? I guess we're the lowest seed in this competition. We are indeed. Right, what can we do here? Zagreb, who we beat last year, if you can remember, in the playoffs, they've reached the Champions League this year. Let's put on the automatic draw. Let's see who the game wants us to play. We were put out in Group A before. I wonder if we'll be out in Group A again this year. Looking at the first seeds, no massive surprises there. I guess you could argue Galatasaray to be a first seed is a little bit of a surprise. And maybe Benfica too. Either way, though, I mean, I'm looking at these groups. We're going to be keeping an eye on how they shape up at the moment. I mean, Group C looks like it's going to be... I mean, Group C or Group D looks like it's going to be the group for the big dogs to have a big fight in. I wouldn't mind being in either of those groups. I want to play the big teams in the Champions League, really. If I was looking for a group that's going to be easier, maybe the group with Celtic would be nice. Maybe the one with Ajax. They have a lowerish coefficient. I mean, Group B right now probably looks like the group you'd be hoping to get if you wanted to progress. But we'll take whatever group we get. Group B, are we there? We're not. Steaua Bucharest. I said Group C or D is the fun group. We're not going to be in either of them. Group E, Barcelona. Not in there. Group F, we're not in there. Where are we going to end up? We're going to end up in a group with Galatasaray, Atletico Madrid and Juve. I mean, that's not an easy group. We are going to be drawn out in Group G here. I mean, that's not an easy group, is it? Galatasaray, interestingly enough, though, the first seeds. But you'd have to say that's a tough group draw. I mean, all the groups are fairly tough, but that one's maybe the group with the kind of the strongest three teams in it, I think. Either way, though, you know, we have to play every team and try and beat as many teams as we can if we want to win this competition eventually. I kind of feel like to get to the group stage again, we've done the goal for this year. It's been another hard slog to get there. Perhaps not quite so comfortable as last year's Zagreb kind of playoffs matches. But we've done it. We've got there. The group stage is over. Oh, not the group stage. The group draw is over. The qualifying phase is over. Our transfer window is over as well. We ended up not making a ton of changes really to the team. But all in all, I'm kind of happy with the business we've done. We've brought in some good players. Diego Costa will be an interesting one to see how much of an impact he can have on us. And yeah, I made a few transfers actually. I didn't talk about these. Let's talk about them now. I know someone's now going to mention you didn't talk about these before. Next episode because they won't have watched to the end. I signed this guy, Egoitz Perez. We'll go with that. Spaniard. The reason I brought him in, really good, kind of pacey winger, but can also play centre attacking mid, centre mid, and right mid. Just a very useful player for us to have in terms of coverage of positions. A bit like Braun, who can play pretty much the exact same positions, but on the left. It's just useful to have a player like this, and he'll be a very useful player to have on the bench, and he's a good player. And we managed to bring him in for a relatively low fee of, well, £450,000 from Ibar. But anyway, guys, that is going to wrap up everything from me for this episode. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, smash the like button. Another memorable European night of football, I think it's fair to say. A great win in the end. Perhaps disappointing we conceded those 2 late goals, but we are going to be playing in the Champions League for another year, which is really good stuff. Hopefully we can build upon that. And yeah, that is all from me. If you've enjoyed this episode, smash the like button. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. And other than that, guys, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.